Hi, my name is Kat, or the Fairy Librarian, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be playing my TBR game again. I played it for the first time last month and had a lot of fun with it, so I decided to do it again for the month of August. Now, because of reasons, I have to film this early. It's the 16th as I'm filming this. Like it'll go up around the beginning of August, but I have to film it early. So that means that I still have like half the year left to finish my July TBR. So like I don't really know what books I finish, but if I don't finish a book, I get the chance to either like, I don't want to call it a punishment, but like draw a special prompt and do something with that, or just roll over the book into the next month. So I'm just gonna go with that second option if I get to the end of the month and I haven't finished my TBR. Editing me will let you know. But I can go over my TBR and talk about my progress so far. So my first roll for July was a free pick, and for that I picked Air of Fire. I checked at library availability, and I have a library card for 2 libraries, but one of them is closed, so I can't get it and don't have a digital copy. The other library, they are open, but there's like a waiting list of 3 people, so I won't be able to get it this month probably. So I have a friend who I know she owns some Sarah J. Maas. I know she owns the Akador series, and I know she owns the Crescent City series, but I don't know if she owns Throne of Glass. So I'll ask her if she has and if I can borrow it. And if she does, then I can read this. If not, I'll just swap it for something else, which I allow myself to do if I can't read something because of library availability. But it's a free pick, so anything fits that prompt. But I decided to go with something like similar, so I'm gonna read A Court of Thorns and Roses for that instead then, which I can get from the library that is open now, like it's still available. So same author, it's a similar book, so I decided that could be a good swap. So if my friend doesn't have Air of Fire, I will read A Court of Thorns and Roses for that. Then the second roll was a series spinner wheel pick, which picked Iron Flame. I DNF'd that one about 60 to 70% in. So like count that prompt as completed. Then a book that has been on the other TBR before, which I picked Anthem by Neil Stephenson, which I haven't started yet, but I still plan to. A book published between 2020 and the current year. For that I picked The Honeys by Ryan Solo, which I read, really enjoyed, gave it 5 stars. Then for an ebook, I picked The Wings of Ashtaroth by Steve Hugh Westenra, which I'm currently reading. I'm about 50% through it. Then a 5-star prediction, which was Second Chance Pass by Robin Carr, which I haven't started yet, but still plan to. And then the End Spot random number generator, for which I picked Recipes for a Perfect Marriage by Kate Kerrigan, which I also DNF'd. So editing me will let you know now if there's any of the books that I didn't finish that'll roll over into August. But then I think we can start playing the game. I have quite a few commitment reads, so I'll try to fit them into the game, and if I am unable to, then I'll just talk about those at the end. So let's go into the first roll. So I decided to play with the red goose this time, so let's roll the dice. I have a 2, a 6, and a 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A regular prompt. And the prompt is set in South America or South American inspired worlds. So for the first prompt, I had a book set in South America or a South American inspired world. And the book I'm gonna pick doesn't fit this prompt exactly because it's set in Mexico, which is technically North America, but I just realized that this prompt is just not worded the way I meant it because I had more like Latin America in mind, so Central America with it when I wrote this prompt. So I'm just gonna go with the spirit of this prompt rather than the letter, and I'm gonna pick The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. This is a sort of gothic horror story set in Mexico in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence. I've heard it's very pulpy and fun, and I just think that this would be a perfect book to like read during a heat wave. I'm Belgian, so heat waves are always also just incredibly humid. So like it's already feeling sticky and you're feeling gross, and like having like this horror book sounds like a perfect vibe. So I'm gonna put this on. I've been saving this book for a very warm summer day, so fingers crossed that's gonna happen in August because July hasn't been super summery weather-wise so far. So yeah, that is The Hacienda. Roll number 2. 2, a 4, and a 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh no, we land on a goose spot, so we take a special prompt. I'll take this one. A mood read. That's fun, but we still have to move back because the goose is looking back. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So the next one was a special spot with a special prompt, and the prompt gave us mood read, which means that I don't have to pick a book right now. I just have to read any other book that hasn't been on the TBR so far, and then this prompt has been fulfilled. So that's always nice. Rule number 3. 3, 6, and a 2. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. A regular prompt. And the prompt is magical word or creature in the title. So the next prompt was a magical word or creature in the title, and for that I chose The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim, which is the sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. I really loved Six Crimson Cranes when I read it, but I keep putting off the sequel. It's on my 24 books in 2024. It's on my priority series list. I really want to read it. Finish out the duology. So the first book is a fairy tale retelling. I'm not sure what the fairy tale is called in English, but it's like where the princess and all her brothers turn into swans in the original here cranes, and she can't speak and has to do stuff to change them back. That is like the first book. And now with the sequel, I'm not sure what the exact plot of the sequel, but yeah, I'm excited. Rule number 4. A 1, a 3, and a 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Regular prompt. And the prompt is a book published prior to the year 2000. Next, we got the prompt of a book published prior to the year 2000. Man, these prompts are not working out with the books I need to read. I had to think about this one for a while. I couldn't really think of one, but then I remembered that I had some on my 24 books to read in 2024 that didn't have concrete plans for when I would read them. But why not now? So for this, I'm going to go with White Sargasso Sea by Jean Rice, which is a classic. I think it was published somewhere in the 60s. I could be wrong. Which is a retelling of Jane Eyre, like a post-colonial feminist retelling of Jane Eyre, from the perspective of Mr. Rochester's wife. So I'm interested. I'm gonna read it, I guess, in August, apparently. So yeah. Roll number 5, I think. A 2, a 5, and a 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Normal prompt. And the prompt is dice roll times 100 pages. I give myself a margin of 50 with this. So like if I roll a 1, it's between 50 and 150. If I roll a 2, it's between 150 and 250, and so on. So I'm going to do this with a single dice because I don't read like a million pages. 6. Wonderful. So a book between 550 and 650 pages. So next I got a book that was the amount of pages that I roll with the dice times 100. So it gave me a 600 page book, which margin of 50 either way. Which finally is a prompt that works with one of my commitment reads. Because I picked Before They Were Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. For this one, I have a buddy read planned with Morgana. I don't know if she has a channel. I'll ask her. But I know her through a Discord. And we've decided to buddy read the second and third book in the First Law trilogy together. That is the second book. And according to my library's website, their copy is 584 pages. So that fits right within the 550 to 650. So yay. Roll number 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normal prompt. The prompt is 2020 to now. We got this last time. I guess that can happen. So for the next roll, I got a prompt I also got last time, which is a book published between 2020 and the current year. And for that, I picked another one of my commitment reads, which is The Adventures of Amina El-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty, which is the first book in a series, I believe, about a retired pirate who gets back to pirating again. Pirates give me major summer vibes, so I'm not mad that it's picked. And this is the book club pick for Reading Nim's book club that she runs in her Discord. I'm really excited about this. 7th and probably final roll. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're at the end, so I will take you to the random number generator. So as you can see, I have my spreadsheet pulled up, and there's 430 lines filled, so I have to go to my random number generator. The upper limit is 430 and generate. book number 330. Let's go to book 330, which is a little bit down. There we are. Oh, it's, I think the English title is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. That is a Christmas book. I didn't think when I put this on here that I would get that now. I'm not going to read a Christmas book in August. So I'm just going to cheat and get another number. 168. Ooh, The Mystery of the Yellow Room by Gaston Leroux. Okay. And the random number generator gave me The Mystery of the Yellow Room by Gaston Leroux. I just usually read the synopsis. Well, usually it is the second time I do it, but I plan to just read the synopsis of the books for the number generator right in front of you. So let's do that. Young Lazy had just retired to her room when sounds of a struggle ensue, and cries of murder and revolver shots spring out. When her locked door is finally broken down by her father and a servant, they find the woman on the floor, badly hurt and bleeding. No one else is in the room. There is no exit except through a barred window. How did the attacker escape? First published in 1907, this intriguing and baffling tale is a classic of early 20th century detective fiction. At the heart of a novel is the perplexing mystery. How could a crime take place in a locked room which shows no sign of being entered? Nearly a century after its final publication, Lewis' landmark tale of foul play, deception, and unbridled ambition remains a blueprint for the detective novel genre. Written by the immortal author of The Phantom of the Opera, this atmospheric thriller is still a favorite of readathons everywhere. I'm really excited. A little nervous because I plan to read this in French. I can read in French, but I don't do it very often. I do want to do more of it because I noticed that my French is like going downhill rapidly. So I want to, practice, I guess. So I'm not mad that I came up, just a tiny bit nervous. But we'll see. It'll probably be fine. So yeah, let's recap and add some more books that were commitment reads that mean prompts in the beginning of the game wouldn't let me put on it. So my August 2024 TBR exists of any books that'll roll over from July, but I don't know that yet. The Hacienda by Isabel Ganas for a book set in South America, which is Latin America, or Latin American inspired world. Then a mood read, which I haven't picked yet, but I'll probably pick for that like one of the two other commitment reads. So that is either The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie or Queen of Shadows. Is that an next from the class book? The one that comes after, or Fireball, by Sarah J. Maas. Then The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim for a book with a magical word or creature in the title. The Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rice for a book that was published before the year 2000. Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie for a book that is about 600 pages with a margin of 50. The Adventures of Amina El-Sirafi for a book published between the year 2020 and the current year. And then The Mystery of the Yellow Room by Gaston Leroux for the end spot random number generator pick. So that was all the books. I already mentioned it with the mood read, but the ones that I wasn't able to put on here was The Last Argument of Kings, which I already mentioned that I was going to read. The second and third first law book with Morgana. So the third one, The Last Argument of Kings, I wasn't able to fit with a prompt. And then Queen of Shadows, I'm not sure if that's correct, but like the Throne of Glass book is for the Mass Effect read along, which is hosted by beautifully Bookish Bethany, where we read one book by Sarah J. Maas per month. I'm a little behind on it. I'm trying to catch up, but I'm gonna try to do that in July, so that in August I can just read the August book. If I don't manage to read both in July, it'll be August, which I probably won't, as I already mentioned, because Airfire, the library doesn't have it right now. So yeah, that is a TBR. I hope you enjoyed. Have you read any of these books? Let me know. Also, I'm still trying to think of a name for this TBR game, and I can't think of anything. So if you have suggestions, you can also leave those down below. Yeah, and let me know about some books that you're excited to read in August, and then I will see you again in another video. Bye.